The year is 2055. You live in subsidized housing and Detroit has gone to shit. Everyone is on drugs. Opioids, cocaine, heroin, you name it. There are no more laws or rules. The only way to make a living now is to scavenge what's left of the city and sell it for a quick buck. Hotel rooms, sewers, McDonald's, dust too. Anything you can barge your way into is yours for the taking. I begun by choosing a meat cleaver as my first weapon. I wasn't going to need anything crazy for the moment since all I'll be raiding are some abandoned houses. I find scraps here and there but nothing substantial that will pay for my rent. On the bright side, it wasn't long until I found a beautiful Callaway golf club. It worked more than well enough for Abby, so I figured it'll do me just fine. While raiding a grocery store, I find multiple cocaine bricks. Drug deal gone bad, it seems like. These are going to be worth a lot to the right person. Well, any person in Detroit. To celebrate, I head to the local McDonald's for a large Big Mac meal, but find the joint overrun by addicts. I mean, even the staff had no clue what planet they were on. It was in serious need of new management, so I took it upon myself to become the new manager. This one just wasn't cutting it. Alright, these two working the counter, this one working the grill, this one working the dishes, this one needs to get the fuck out of my kitchen, and this one working the deep fryer. That should do. Before I got myself into any more altercations, I went ahead and sold off my cocaine to this guy who looks like Tuco, but from Wish.com. I was on my way back home, but couldn't help notice an abandoned school. It seemed to be some sort of base for bandits, so there's definitely good supplies inside. I sneak in through a hatch on the roof and somehow end up inside a Nocturne totem. You know, thinking about it now, these addicts sure do have a striking resemblance to zombies. It doesn't really matter though, because waves of them begin to flood the premises. They could smell the cocaine residue on me, and they needed it. As much as I would have loved to stay, I needed to get out of there. I escaped with my life and the entire building came crashing down behind me, but they injected me with something on my way out, and it wasn't long before the trip started. Drifting in and out of consciousness, I made my way to the nearest hotel to seek refuge. To no surprise, however, the entire place had been taken over by addicts and bandits. I geared up, thanks to the bandits, and it wasn't long before I begun to go John Wick mode on them. Sadly, it was short-lived after I was ambushed and stripped of all my clothing and weapons. I was now nothing but a naked homeless bum who was still high. I needed something to defend myself, so I went to the closest friendly base and stole their frying pan. I find my way into the sewers, where I now belong. Yet against all odds, somehow I find a double-barrel shotgun. I find a crack den and blow them to bits. Turns out they also have guns. My guns. Some bandits attempt to ambush me again, but this time I'm prepared. I push A side on dust too and blow them to bits. This shotgun has allowed me to clear out areas I wasn't able to access before, which means more loot for me. But it's getting late now, and I don't want to be caught outside at night. I used the money I made so far to rent a hotel room for the night. Not too bad, all things considered. The next morning I head to the museum and, well yeah, they really didn't skimp out on the amount of addicts that would be trying to attack me. The worst part is there was absolutely no loot left. Everything had been picked clean. On the bright side, I found one of the culprits. This gigantic meathead. He told me he was going to turn me into his little boy toy, and I can't lie, I ran away. With that being an almost complete failure, I needed to hit big soon, otherwise I was going to be broke. There was one place I could think of left to go. The most dangerous of them all, but the most lucrative. The drug lab. Ground Zero. And of course there was nothing but a pack of condoms and expired lube. Just my luck. The sun was setting and it felt like my run was coming to an end. I figured it was time to climb to the highest point you can in the game. I feel like that's something literally everyone does in every open world game ever. I got to the top and the guy I sold the cocaine to was camping up there. He throws a throwing knife straight at me and kills me instantly. Just like that, all my progress gone in a blink of an eye. This game can be really frustrating, but that is living dark after all.